Hi guys, welcome back to Aju's Kitchen. So in today's video I will be showing you how to make honey braised spare ribs, and this is a very fun and delicious recipe to make at home. You could make this for a party or any family gathering. So let's get started. Okay, so this is my mise en place: 2 spare ribs in the middle, and then I have my celery, carrots, onion and garlic cut up. And then for seasoning I have salt and pepper with rosemary and thyme. I have oil, tomato paste, beef stock and some flour. So let's get started. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is season our flour with salt and pepper, because we will not be seasoning the ribs, and this will just help the ribs get more texture and more flavor from the beginning. Okay, now we are just going to flour our ribs after we mix all that together. And the purpose of the flour is to help the ribs brown better, because the more it brown, the more fat that's going to come out, and all that fat is going to turn into this great delicious flavor that we want in our glaze. Okay, when you flour the ribs, make sure you dust off or shake off any excess flour, because we don't need all that extra flour in the dish. And while you're doing this, make sure you preheat your pan, because you want the pan really hot before adding in the oil. Now that our pan is hot, we will be using vegetable oil. You could use any oil of your liking. Once the oil is really hot, as you can see, we will place the short ribs into the pan with the bone side up, because we want the meat to be the first thing that browns, so that all that flavor and tenderness could come together. Okay, so we will be searing the ribs for about 2 minutes on both sides, and after we finish searing the ribs, we will put it on a separate plate. It should be looking all crisp and delicious, and we will use the leftover fat to sweat our vegetables. As you can see here, I have the celery, carrots, onions and garlic in here, and I'm just sweating it. And after sweating it for about 3 minutes, we will go in and add our beef stock. You can add all of it because you want it to cover the ribs, and then you will mix this. Now we are just going to add a little bit of salt and pepper, because you want layers of flavor in this dish. And make sure you don't over season the liquid, because this is going to go in the oven and more flavor is going to come out from the ribs. Now we are just going to take our ribs and place it back into the liquid with the bone facing up. Make sure the bone is facing up, because you want the meat to tenderize. And now we are going to add our tomato paste in small sections, and we are just going to mix all of this together. Make sure everything is well mixed, and make sure the liquid covers at least half of the ribs. Now for extra flavor, we will add in our rosemary and our thyme. Make sure the rosemary and thyme is drenched in the liquid, so all that flavor could come together to create this amazing sauce. And now I am cooking it on the stove on low heat for about 10 minutes, and this is how it looks after the 10 minutes. You can see that it's already coming together after 10 minutes, but we're not quite done. Now we're going to cover this, place it in the oven for about 2 hours on 200 degrees. Okay, after 2 hours in the oven on low temperature, this is how our ribs look. It is so tender. It looks tender already, but I am not going to cut into it quite yet. And you can see that the sauce, the liquid have came together to make this amazing sauce. Okay, now what we are going to do is strain our sauce so that we can have a more smooth texture. And after we strain it, we will use the same pot, and we will turn on our stove on medium heat, and then we will add the liquid back in. And now what we are going to do to get that glaze is we are going to add in some honey and some salt. Once again, make sure you don't over season, and the honey, make sure is 100% natural. And then you are just going to mix this together, and we are going to place our ribs back into this sauce, and we will let all that glaze together, and this will stick onto the ribs. You can already see how beautiful that looks. Make sure you cook this on a medium flame, and the sauce should be sticking onto the ribs to give it this delicious texture. And this is how our final product look. And the sauce, as you can see, is amazing. You could use this to put it on top of the ribs. When the ribs is done, it should be tender, moist, and almost falling off the bone. This recipe was honestly very delicious, and I just served it with some mashed potatoes, and I garnished it with some cilantro and radishes. I really hope you guys try this recipe at home, because this is one of my best and favorite recipes, and it comes out so flavorful and tender. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.